All right, good afternoon. The big thing today, of course, the heat. I felt it early this morning, even as our temperature started off near 80 degrees, and now we're at about 90. Our heat index today could rise to about 108 or a little higher, and we are seeing that feels like temperature in New Orleans now at 103, and our air temperature right at 90, humid and not a lot of rain. And of course, August heat, all of these things contributing to make it kind of dangerous outside if you have to exert yourself. Just remember, that's what the heat advisory is there for, just to remind you. Drink water, take breaks, get into the AC or the shade when you can if you have to be active outdoors. Current temperatures in the lower 90s, and some of these heat indices are running probably a little high. The 113 and the 112 might be a bit above where it actually is at those sites, but certainly we're all over the place feeling like triple digits, as high as about 108, 110 expected this afternoon. And even tonight by 9 p.m. look at our forecast. It looks like our feels like temperature might still be stuck in the mid to upper 90s. Our live radar super quiet, not seeing anything out there as far as any cooling showers or storms. We have a little boundary off to the north of us, a few thunderstorms out over the Gulf, but we're just looking pretty quiet here. We'll keep a slight chance for a couple of storms today, but not expecting a whole lot. Hot and steamy with our highs very similar to the past couple of days, maybe between 93 and about 95 or so. And then tonight we'll be back in the 70s, but the South Shore has been stopping around 79 or 80 lately for the overnight lows, at least this morning. So we'll be in that sort of range with a muggy night ahead. Now on our high resolution model, as you make your plans for today, this is by 4:35 after school, after work things. Certainly not having a lot of rain around to interfere with them, but it will definitely still be hot at that point. Our temperatures this evening eventually drop into the 80s. Our model wants to paint in a couple of showers off to the north of us, but not sure if we're going to see that really anywhere near us for southeast Louisiana and coastal Mississippi. Now we'll go into tomorrow. You can see there may be this trend where we see showers and storms rolling from the north to the south pretty fast. This is by tomorrow evening, though, at 7 p.m. Looks like we might get some rain, right? But look what happens. Our high resolution model has it all sort of fizzling out once it reaches us. So maybe a slightly higher chance for rain tomorrow. Also, by the way, a couple of these storms, when they race from north to south, sometimes they can be rather strong. Today, there's a severe risk just outside of our area, just that lowest, level 1 of 5. Maybe for a couple of storms with a few high wind gusts. And tomorrow, notice that our North Shore spots in Mississippi are included under that level 1 marginal risk for severe weather. So this is one of these setups where there's not going to be a lot of rain, but where we do see a couple of storms, they will have the potential to be a bit strong, again, mainly with high wind gusts. Now, in our tropical outlook, the only thing to highlight right now, or highlighted from the National Hurricane Center, is a wave that's just off the coast of Central America in the Caribbean Sea, and it's going to be moving over land over the next couple of days, emerging perhaps somewhere near the Mexico coast and the Bay of Campeche by about maybe Friday. And right now it looks like it'll have a low chance for development. This is the pattern, though. This is why we're thinking it's going to stay so far off to the west. High pressure builds in, and so that's going to keep it hugging either the coastline or maybe even staying over land. Of course, if it gets out over the waters, it'll have a chance to develop. But notice that our models have it kind of moving this way. We'll keep you updated. Things could change. The chance for development right now is low in the next 5 days. Just something we'll keep an eye on. Doesn't look like it'll have a lot of big effects for our part of the northern Gulf Coast, but again, we'll just watch it and keep you updated. Our Atlantic hurricane season names, we've still just made it through the 3, but last year on today's date, we had made it all the way to Henri, not only to Claudette and Danny, but all the way to Henri. And unfortunately, we were looking out in about 10 days' time to see Ida come on the scene. By the way, we had 2 of these storms active, Grace and Henri, on today's date, and both of those were going to intensify into hurricanes, Grace eventually into a major hurricane. So much more active at this point last year than where we are now. That's not to say things couldn't change, but at this point, thankfully, this is another week without a whole lot of action, although we are seeing things stirring a little bit like that spot I showed you. 7-day forecast shows rain chances higher at the end of the week, and that'll bring temperatures down a little bit. All right.